Hello students, myself Jinalisha welcomes you on behalf of Saraswat International Academy. Students, today we will begin with the next part of the chapter Plant Kingdom. Students, in the previous video we have studied regarding the characteristic features used to classify the animals. Apart from that, we have also studied three phylums of the animals, Porifera, then Coelenterata and Ctenophora. Today we will begin with the new phylum. So first of all, we will begin with the Platyhelminthes, which are commonly called as the flatworms. Now this term Platyhelminths, it is a Greek word. Platys, it means flat, and helminths, it means worms. So why are they called as flatworms? So students, their body is dorso-ventrally flattened. That is, dorsally as well as ventrally they have the flat body, and therefore they are called as the flatworms. Most of the platyhelminths, they are endoparasites. So first of all, what are parasitic organisms? Those organisms which obtain the nutrients from the host, they are called as the parasites. Now the term is endoparasites. Endoparasites yani ki they live inside the body of the host. Yani, say for example, one organism is dependent on the other organism. So the organism which is dependent on the other organism, it lives inside the body of that particular organism. So endoparasites are the parasitic organisms which lives inside the body of the host, and human beings are also one of the host of the platyhelminths. बट देर आर फ्यू प्लेटीहेल्मिन्स विच आर फ्री लिविंग, यानी वो पैरासाइटिक नहीं है, एंड बेसिकली दे आर एक्वेटिक ऑर्गेनिज्म. सो बेसिकली दोज प्लेटीहेल्मिन्स which are free living, they are normally found in water. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, acoelomate animals with the organ level of organization. Bilaterally symmetrical, when a single plane passing through the center of the body divides the organism into two equal right and left parts, they are called as the bilateral symmetry. Triploblastic, three germinal layers. Acoelomate, that is without the body cavity. An organ level of organization, which means the tissues are organized into organs, and it is the organs which carry out the activities. Now very important property here is, at the anterior end of the body there is a formation of the head, and this head contains the brain as well as it may contain the sense organs, and this head, it remains forward during the locomotion, and this characteristic is known as the cephalization. So we can say that cephalization begins from this phylum. What is cephalization? The anterior part of the body forms the head which remains forward at the time of the locomotion. This characteristic is called as the cephalization, and this property, it starts with this particular phylum. The locomotory organs, they are absent, yani they do not have the special organs which help in the locomotion. Now their body walls. So basically the body wall is made up of two layers. So outer layer is epidermis and inner layer is the muscle layer. So muscle layers are many. So outer layer is epidermis basically, which is single layered, and inner to epidermis is a multi-layered muscle layer. So many muscle layers are found. Now we know that this basically the platyhelminths are which organism? Parasitic. Now being parasitic, उनमें कुछ ऐसे system होना चाहिए. They should have certain structures which help them to attach to the host as well as to absorb the nutrients from the host. They should have certain arrangement which help them to attach to the host and to absorb the nutrients from the host. So there are two such structures present in them. One is hook and other is suckers. Both of these are adhesive organ. Adhesive organ यानी ये ऐसे organs है जो platyhelminths को host के साथ attach होने के लिए helpful होंगे. Not only they help in attachment, but these are also the organs which absorb the nutrients from the host body directly. Are you getting my point, students? So they have the specialized structures like hooks and suckers which help this organism to attach to the host, as well as these are the structures which also help them to absorb the nutrients from the host. Now we will talk about the digestive system. So if digestive system is present, then it is incomplete. Incomplete digestive system yani they will have only one opening, and this opening act as both mouth as well as anus. There are certain platyhelminths के जिसमें digestive system नहीं रहेगी. For example, tapeworm. Tapeworm does not have the digestive system. Now these organisms do not have specialized skeletal system, respiratory system and circulatory system. They are devoid, or you can say this system, skeletal system, respiratory system and circulatory system, they are absent. Now how respiration अगर specialized respiratory system नहीं है, लेकिन respiration is very important process, ये तो होना ही है. So how that occurs? So the respiration occurs through body surface by the process of diffusion. यानी surface of the body से ही exchange of respiratory gases होगा. Now students, they have the specialized excretory organs, and that specialized excretory organs or cells are called as the phlegm cells or the protonephridia. So protonephridia, or also called as the phlegm cells, they are the structures which play the important role in excretion. Excretion yani removal of the metabolic nitrogenous waste. So excretion yani nitrogenous waste. So which nitrogenous waste is removed? So they remove ammonia. And दूसरा, phlegm cells not only removes the excretory material, but it also helps in the process of the osmoregulation. So what do you mean by osmoregulation? Maintenance of the salt and water level of the body. So basically they maintain the level of water and salt concentration. So they have the phlegm cells which helps in excretion, as well as it helps in the osmoregulation. Now phlegm cells जो भी excretory material को collect करता है, that excretory material enters into the small tubules, and these tubules they open to the exterior of the body through the excretory pores. Listen very carefully. Phlegm cells body में से nitrogenous waste को absorb करेगा. That absorbed nitrogenous waste will open into the tubules, and these tubules they open to the exterior of the body through one or two pores which are called as the excretory pores. And ये excretory pores से जो भी waste material है, it will be removed outside the body. Now students, nervous system. So they have the ladder-like nervous system which comprises of the brain and two longitudinal nerve cords. So basically कैसा होगा? So एक ये ladder जैसा structure है. So this ladder-like structure will have the brain. Brain में से दो nerve cord निकलेंगे. Are you getting my point? Say for example, this is a brain. From the brain arises the longitudinal nerve cords. How many nerve cords? Two nerve cords. Now students, these nerve cords they are connected by commissures. So ये जो horizontal line मैंने draw की है, they are called as the commissures. What are commissures? They are the band of the nervous tissue. So अभी ये कैसा appearance है? It is a ladder-like appearance of the nervous system. So nervous system, it is ladder-like which consists of brain and two longitudinal nerve cords, and these nerve cords are connected by commissures which are the band of the band of the nervous tissue. So that is regarding their nervous system. Now when we talk about the reproductive system, so sexes are not separate. It means they are bisexual animals. Yani sperms and eggs are formed within the same animal. But very important is they encourage cross fertilization. दो एग्स एंड स्पर्म्स एक ही बॉडी में फॉर्म होता है, बट खुद के एग्स खुद के स्पर्म्स के साथ फर्टिलाइज नहीं होंगे, यानी दे विल अंडरगो कॉप्यूलेशन, दे विल अंडरगो मेटिंग, and then cross fertilization will take place. Fertilization is internal, that is inside the body, and development is through many larval stage. जब larval stage होता है तो which type of development it is called as? It is called as the indirect development. So fertilization occurs internally, that is it is internal, and development is through larval stage, which means the development is indirect. Okay. Now students, there are some members like planaria which possess high regeneration capacity. What do you mean by the regeneration? Suppose if the body gets fragmented into different parts, then each fragment is capable of forming a new organism. Say for example, ये एक प्लेनेरिया है, ये प्लेनेरिया को मैंने 3 पार्ट्स में डिवाइड कर दिया है. Now each part will form a new organism. So what is that capacity called as? Regeneration. So students, they have the high regeneration capacity. Some members of platyhelminths, they have the high regeneration capacity. The examples of few platyhelminths are Taenia, which is a scientific name, and its common name is tapeworm. Fasciola, whose common name is the liver fluke. See students, this is a nervous system. यहाँ पे brain है, ये dark blue color के क्या है? Nerve cords. And these nerve cords are connected by the transverse nerve, or also called as the commissures. So this is how the nervous system of the flatworms look like. These are the examples. The first one is a tapeworm and this is a liver fluke. Okay. So this is regarding the platyhelminths. Now students, the next group, that next phylum, that is Eschehelminths, also called as the nemathelminths, and they are commonly called as the roundworms. So next phylum is Eschehelminths, which are commonly called as roundworms. Now why are they called as roundworms? So their body is circular in cross section. So basically, as their body appears to be circular in cross section, they are given the name roundworms. Now, how is their body? Their body is long, cylindrical, tapering at both the ends. Yani at the end, body gets narrower. So this type of body is called as the, which type of body? Tapering body. It means it narrows at the end and it is not segmented, or you can say the body is without any segments. Now how this organism may be? They may be free living. Free living है तो they may be either aquatic or may be terrestrial. So if they are free living, they may be found in water as well as they may be found on land. Or they may also be parasitic. Parasitic यानी they obtain the nourishment directly from the host. So they are parasitic in plants as well as in the animals. So they may be free living or they may be parasitic. They have organ system level of organization, that is those organs which are concerned to perform the same function, they are organized and they form the organ system. Bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, pseudocoelomate animals. So what do you mean by pseudocoelomate animals? So they have a body cavity basically should be lined by mesoderm. But here mesoderm occurs in the form of the scattered pouches, and such a body cavity is called as pseudocoelom, and the animals are called as the pseudocoelomate animals. Here the anterior end does not form the head, यानी ये phylum में head नहीं है. There are no locomotory organs, यानी they are devoid of the organs which help in the locomotion. Now body walls में क्या होता है? Cuticle, epidermis and muscle layer. So basically students ऐसा होता है कि there is a single layered epidermis. ये epidermis ही बाहर cuticle के layer का secretion करता है, and then internally it consists of the muscle layers, and it is with the help of these muscles they will be helpful in locomotion. वरना ऐसे स्पेशलाइज लोकोमोटरी ऑर्गन्स नहीं है. नाउ मिनरलाइज स्केलेटन इज एब्सेंट, यानी कैल्शियम का या सिलिका का ऐसा कोई स्केलेटन नहीं है. बट येस, pseudocoelom contains the fluid and the high fluid pressure in the pseudocoelom maintains the shape of the body. See, basically skeleton का काम क्या है? To maintain the shape of the body. बट यहाँ पे मिनरलाइज स्केलेटन नहीं है, सो बॉडी का शेप कैसे मेंटेन रहेगा? सो दे हैव द pseudocoelom. Inside the pseudocoelom is the presence of the fluid. The high pressure of the fluid present in the pseudocoelom maintains the shape of the body, and such a skeleton is called as the hydroskeleton. Hydro, fluid, water. So fluid present inside the body cavity will maintain the shape of the body, and that is called as the hydroskeleton. Alimentary canal is complete yani have two openings at the anterior end, the mouth, at the posterior end, anus, and it also contains the well developed muscular pharynx. So mouth and anus के अलावा pharynx is also present. Respiratory organ नहीं है, but respiration कैसे होगा? By the body surface through the process of the diffusion. Now excretion कैसे होता है? So they have the excretory tube which removes the body waste from the body cavity through the excretory pore. So excretory tube होती है जो waste material को collect करती है, and जो collected waste material है ये excretory tube कहाँ पे open होती है? Exterior of the body through the excretory pore. The excretory material here is ammonia. Nervous system comprises of a nerve ring which from which the nerves extend anteriorly as well as posteriorly. Nervous system कैसी है? So ये एक ring जैसा structure बनेगा, and ring में से nerves will come out which extends towards the anterior side of the body as well as towards the posterior side of the body. Now the reproduction, their sexes are separate yani dioecious, or you can say they are unisexual animals. See students, the terminology is very important. Unisexual is also called as dioecious. Di यानी टू, यानी मेल भी अलग, मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम अलग ऑर्गेनिज्म में है, फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम इज डिफरेंट. एंड बाइसेक्सुअल, बाई यानी टू, बाइसेक्सुअल आर कॉल्ड एज मोनोएशियस. मोनोएशियस यानी एक ही ऑर्गेनिज्म में एग भी है और स्पर्म भी है. सो हियर सेक्सेस आर सेपरेट, यानी वो डायशियस है या यूनिसेक्सुअल. एंड morphologically या externally we can differentiate which one will be male and which one will be female. So here male and female are distinct and we can externally distinguish. जैसे human beings में हम देख के बोलते हैं कि ये particular human being male है, ये particular human being female होगा. Same way here also the males and females sexes are separate and we can distinguish the male from the female. कैसे? So often the females are longer than the males. Now what about fertilization? So internal, that is inside the body of the female. Development may be direct or it may be indirect. Direct यानी क्या है? The young ones will resemble the adult, and if it is indirect then there will be the presence of the larval stage. So in some of them direct development occurs, that is young one will resemble the adult, and in some of them it is indirect, that is it passes through the larval stages. The examples are Ascaris, which is commonly called as roundworm, Wuchereria, which is commonly called as filaria worm, and Encyclostoma, which is commonly called as the hookworm. So that is the general characteristic features of the Escahelminths. Now the example, this is the Ascaris or roundworm. So here you can see that this is a male which is shorter and the female which is longer. So that is regarding the Escahelminths. Now students, the next phylum, that is Annelida, which are the segmented worms. Annelida are also called as the segmented worms. That is, their body is having segments. Now, which type of body it is? They have soft, elongated, cylindrical or flattened body. The body is divided into segment and these segments are also called as the metameres. Now, body को segment में कौन divide करता है? So, there are ring like grooves. Say for example, ये एक body है. Now, this body consists of the ring like grooves. ऐसे ring like structures है, grooves है. And these ring like grooves are called as the annuli. And see, again I am explaining you. Suppose this is the body of an organism. Now this body of the organism have the ring like grooves and these ring like grooves are called as annuli. अभी ये annuli की वजह से देखो body it is divided into segments. Now the annuli, it means a little ring, and due to the presence of this annuli only they are given the name annelida. Why are they called as annelida? Because they contain the annulus, which means a little ring like structure. Now they may be aquatic. If they are aquatic, they may be found in marine water or they may be found in fresh water. They may also be terrestrial, that is they may be found on the land. So these annelids, they may be found in water as well as they may be found on land. They may be free living, most of them are free living, and there are some of them which are parasitic. They exhibit organ system level of organization, bilateral symmetry, they are triploblastic, metamerically segmented, coelomate animals. Now, I told you earlier only body surface is distinctly marked into segments or metameres and hence the name is annelida. It is a Latin word annulus which means little ring. Now, what about their body wall? It consists of cuticle, epidermis and muscle layer. So, basically epidermis is the outermost layer जो क्या secrete करता है? Cuticle. यानी जिसकी वजह से बाहर cuticle होता है. Then there is epidermis which is single layered and then there is multi-layered muscle layers. So that is the body wall. Now this body wall, they have the minute chitinous setae. Setae are the in S-shaped structure. ऐसे structures होते हैं body wall में जिसके पास क्या होते हैं? Bristle like structure. यानी हेयर जैसे स्ट्रक्चर्स रहते हैं एंड दिस setae may help in the locomotion. So body wall, they have the chitinous setae. Setae are the bristle like structures, hair like structures and they help in the locomotion. Now the body, I told you muscle layers होते हैं. So these muscle layers are basically longitudinal and circular muscles. Muscles कैसे हो गए? Longitudinal भी हो गए and circular भी हो गए and these muscles will help in the locomotion. Now there are certain annelids के जिसमें locomotion के लिए specialized organs होते हैं. So जिनमें organs नहीं होते उनमें क्या होते हैं? Muscles होते हैं जो locomotion में helpful करेंगे. But there are aquatic annelids जैसे Nereis which have the lateral appendages. Appendages यानी outgrowths, side पे outgrowth होता है. And these appendages are called as parapodia which help them in swimming. So ये parapodia में भी muscles तो हो गए ही हो गए. See, locomotion muscles के बिना possible नहीं है. So some organisms में क्या होता है? Directly muscles के contraction relaxation की वजह से animal move करेगा. But certain organisms उनके पास क्या होते हैं? Outgrowths होते हैं on their lateral sides. Like Nereis के जिसके पास पैरापोडिया होता है एंड ये पैरापोडिया किसके लिए हेल्पफुल है? स्विमिंग के लिए. नाउ जैसे बॉडी एक्सटर्नली सेगमेंट्स में डिवाइडेड है थ्रू एन्यूलाई, सेम वे इंटरनली दैट इज द बॉडी कैविटी, देयर सीलम, it is also divided into small compartments and here the division is through the transverse septa. जैसे बाहर बॉडी को कौन डिवाइड करता है? एन्यूलाई. सिमिलरली इंटरनली ऑल्सो देर आर ट्रांसवर्स सेप्टा विच डिवाइड्स द बॉडी इंटरनली इनटू द स्मॉल कंपार्टमेंट्स. They do not have the mineralized skeleton. Fluid filling coelom serves as the hydrostatic skeleton. I told you coelom के अंदर fluid होगा and ये fluid body के shape को maintain करेंगे जिसको हम बोलेंगे hydrostatic skeleton. Digestive tract is complete यानी it have two openings, mouth and anus. This is the first group of organism where we can see the closed circulatory system for the first time. Closed circulatory यानी the blood flows through the blood vessels. Now respiration कैसे होगा? Most of them में respiration occurs through skin, that is called as the cutaneous respiration. In most of the annelids, respiration occurs through skin, which is called as the cutaneous respiration. But in the aquatic forms, gills may be present, and if the gills are present, that respiration is called as the branchial respiration. So, they have the skin, which is the main respiratory organ, and that is called as the cutaneous respiration. But in some aquatic forms, gills may be present which help in the respiration, and the respiration through the gills is called as the branchial respiration. Now we will talk about the excretion. So excretion के लिए they have the organelles called as the nephridia. So nephridia are the structure which help in the excretion. The singular form is called as nephridium, and this nephridia not only helps in excretion but also helps in the osmoregulation. What is osmoregulation? Maintenance of the salt and water level of the body. Now which excretory material is excreted? जो aquatic forms होंगे उसमें ammonia का removal होगा and land forms will remove the urea. Now nervous system, it consists of paired ganglia. What are ganglia? So basically ganglia, they are the aggregation of the nerve cell bodies. Now students, recall the structure of the neuron. Neuron का structure कैसा होता है? It have the cell body, and from the cell body the processes arise. The larger process is called as axon, the smaller processes are called as dendrite, and ये वाला जो portion है that is called as the cell body. So nervous system कैसी है इन लोग की? Ganglionated, that is it consists of paired ganglia. What are ganglia? It is the aggregations of the neural cell bodies. न्यूरॉन का cell body जो होता है उसका जो एग्रीगेशन होता है, ग्रुप होता है, उसको बोलते हैं गैंग्लियन. नाउ दिस गैंग्लियन कनेक्टेड बाय द लेटरल नर्व्स टू द डबल वेंट्रल नर्व कॉर्ड. सो बेसिकली कैसा स्ट्रक्चर होगा? एक नर्व रिंग होगी, नर्व रिंग में से ऐसे क्या निकलेगा? मिड वेंट्रल डबल नर्व कॉर्ड, एंड ये नर्व कॉर्ड में से क्या निकलेगा? पेड गैंग्लिया. So that is the structure of the nervous system. It consists of paired ganglia connected by lateral nerves to the double ventral nerve cord. That is, they have a nerve ring, solid double mid-ventral nerve cord with the ganglia. Sexes may be separated, yani dioecious or unisexual, or they may be united, yani monoecious or bisexual. Nereis, which is an aquatic form, it is a dioecious, that is unisexual, but earthworms and leeches are monoecious, that is bisexual. Very very important examples के साथ. Unisexual का example nereis, bisexual का example earthworm and leeches. They undergo sexual reproduction. Development may be direct, yani young one will resemble the adult, or indirect, that is larval stage is present, and here the larva is called as the trochophore larva. The examples are Nereis, Ferritima, whose common name is earthworm, and Hyrudina, whose common name is the blood sucking leech. So these were certain characteristic features of the annelids. See, these are the example. Here you can see this is the Nereis and this is the Hyrudina. Okay, Hyrudinaria. So यहाँ पे आप देखो externally क्या देख सकते हो? Segments. Here also you can see the segments. So that is regarding the annelids. Now students, we will begin with the next phylum, and that is Arthropoda. That is, they are the animals with the jointed feet. The names itself suggest it is a Greek word. Arthros, it means joint, and podos, it means foot. So those animals which have the jointed feet, they are called as the arthropoda. Now it is the largest phylum of the Animalia, which includes the insect. So it is the largest phylum of the animal. 2/3 of the animals are arthropods, and one of the group including arthropods are the insects. So 2/3 of all named species on the earth are arthropods. They have the organ system level of organization, bilaterally symmetrical body, triploblastic animals, segmented animals, and coelomate animals. Now where are they found? They may be found in water or they may be terrestrial. They may be free living or they may be parasitic. The shape of the body is various. बहुत सारे shapes में वो दिखे जाते हैं. Now I told you they are segmented animals, but students keep in mind it is segmented externally but internal segments are absent. So bahar segments है, the outer part of the body will have the segments, but the internal segments here are absent. Now here also anterior end of the body will have the head, and this head will have the sense organs. Now the body is covered by the chitinous exoskeleton. So यहाँ पे exoskeleton है, जबकि हमने annelids में देखा था कि exoskeleton नहीं था, but arthropods contain the exoskeleton. The body is divided into 3 regions: head, thorax and abdomen. So there are 3 regions in the body: head, thorax and abdomen. Now in certain organisms क्या होता है, ये हेड एंड थोरेक्स जॉइन हो जाता है, जिसको बोलते हैं सिफेलोथोरेक्स. किफेलो इट मीन्स हेड. सो इन सर्टन ऑर्गेनिज्म हेड एंड थोरेक्स दे आर फ्यूज्ड and the structure formed is called as the cephalothorax, and other region is abdomen. Mainly 3 regions हो गए, head, thorax and abdomen, but in certain the head and thorax are fused and the structure formed is called as the cephalothorax. I told you they have jointed appendages, which means arthros joint, poda means appendages. Appendages are the outgrowths on the lateral side of the body. So जो locomotion के लिए helpful करेंगे. So these appendages are modified for feeding, walking, jumping, clinging, copulation, that is mating, and also helpful for defense. The body wall consists of thick chitinous cuticle and single layered epidermis. Now important property of cuticle is that the cuticle is periodically changed during the growth. जैसे जैसे organisms का growth होता जाता है, ये क्यूटिकल का लेयर भी क्या होता जाता है, चेंज होता जाता है, एंड दिस प्रोसेस इज कॉल्ड एज मोल्टिंग और ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज इक्डाइसिस. सो व्हाट इज मोल्टिंग? सो बेसिकली द रिमूवल ऑफ द क्यूटिकल एंड रिप्लेसमेंट विद द न्यू वन, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज द मोल्टिंग और इक्डाइसिस. नाउ यहाँ पे बॉडी कैविटी तो है, सीलम तो है, but that coelom is filled with the blood. So the body cavity, it contains blood. Yeah, you can say coelom is filled with blood, and such a body cavity is called as hemocoel. Hemo, blood, seal, that is coelom. That is, the coelom is filled with the blood. The digestive tract is complete, that is 2 openings, mouth and anus. Now they have the specialized respiratory organs like gills, book lungs or tracheal system. So these are the various structures which help in the respiration. I told that the body cavity is filled with the blood. So of course, which type of circulatory it is? System, it is open type. So circulatory system is of open type, that is blood flows into the hemocoel instead of the blood vessels. यानी जो organs होते हैं, they will bath into the blood. The blood here is called as hemolymph. Hemo, blood, lymph यानी colorless. So basically here blood is colorless. It does not contain the respiratory pigment hemoglobin, but it contains the white blood corpuscles, that is WBCs. RBCs यहाँ पे होते नहीं है, and जिसकी वजह से उनका blood कैसा रहता है, whitish color, or you can say it may be colorless. I told you respiratory pigment is absent, but in them some of them contains the copper containing hemocyanin. Normally hemoglobin होता है जो कैसा होता है, iron containing, बट यहाँ पे रेस्पिरेटरी पिगमेंट पहले तो होती ही नहीं है, बट जिनमें few forms are there which contains the hemocyanin, and this hemocyanin is a copper containing respiratory pigment. Now excretion, so excretory system, it consists of antenna or green gland, or you can say antennary gland or green gland. So ये directly कहाँ पे open होगी? outer part of the body. So जो भी ये glands ने waste material collect किया है, that will, ये gland open होती है outer part of the body, जिससे waste remove हो जाता है. And some of them contains Malpighian tubules. Malpighian tubules क्या करता है? जो भी वेस्ट मटेरियल को एब्सॉर्ब किया उसको गट या क्या बोलते हैं एलिमेंट्री कैनाल में ओपन कर देगा. एंड एलिमेंट्री कैनाल में से जब वेस्ट मटेरियल या यू कैन से अनडाइजेस्टेड फूड का रिमूवल होगा, उसके साथ ये एक्सक्रीटरी वेस्ट का भी रिमूवल हो जाएगा. सो एंटीनरी ग्लैंड्स और ग्लीन ग्लैंड्स होते हैं विच ओपन्स डायरेक्टली टू द एक्सटीरियर ऑफ द बॉडी, एंड देर आर माल्फिजियन ट्यूब्यूल्स which collect the excretory material and empty it into the alimentary canal or gut, जहाँ से along with the undigested food material ये excretory waste material भी remove हो जाएगा. Now aquatic forms है तो ammonia remove करेंगे and land forms will remove the uric acid. Nervous system, like you can say annelids, they have the nerve ring, solid midventral nerve cord with the pair of the ganglia per segment. So each segment will have the pair of ganglia. Anterior portion में brain होगा, brain में से nerve cord निकलेगा, and this nerve cord will have the paired ganglia in each segment. Now very important students, they have the sensory organs like antenna. अभी आप कॉकरोच को इमेजिन करो, द एग्जाम्पल ऑफ द आर्थ्रोपोड. सो आप सबने कॉकरोच देखा है जिसके एंटीरियर पोर्शन में एंटीना रहता है. दिस एंटीना इज अ टच सेंसिटिव ऑर्गन. दे हैव द आइज में बी कंपाउंड आइज और दे में बी सिंपल आइज. दे हैव द स्टेटोसिस्ट विच आर द बैलेंसिंग ऑर्गन, वो उनको बैलेंसिंग के लिए हेल्पफुल करते हैं. एंड एनल सर्काई विच आर फोनो रिसेप्टर्स, फोनो यानी साउंड, सो साउंड सेंसिटिव स्ट्रक्चर्स होते हैं. सो दे हैव वेल डेवलप्ड सेंसरी ऑर्गन्स जैसे एंटीना, आइज विच में बी कंपाउंड और सिंपल आइज, स्टेटोसिस्ट विच आर बैलेंसिंग स्ट्रक्चर्स, एंड एनल सर्काई विच आर फोनो रिसेप्टर्स और साउंड सेंसिटिव स्ट्रक्चर्स. नाउ यहाँ पे मैंने एक टर्म बोला कंपाउंड आइज. सो व्हाट आर कंपाउंड आइज? So compound eyes are the eyes which are made up of many similar units called as the ommatidium. So each eye is made up of thousands of structures called as ommatidium. Now students, each ommatidium is having a lens, and as it is having a lens, each ommatidium is capable of forming a image. Compound eyes are those eyes which are made up of many repeating units called as ommatidia. Each ommatidia will have the lens. As it is having a lens, it will form the image. So you can say एक eye, single eye, it forms several images of an object. एक objects के बहुत सारे images बनते हैं. So several images formed in eye make the possible detection of even the slightest movement in the object being seen. आप सबने कॉकरोच देखा है, राइट? कॉकरोच के पास जैसे ही आप नज़दीक जाते हो, वो तुरंत ही अपनी मूवमेंट को डिटेक्ट कर सकता है. क्यों डिटेक्ट कर सकता है? ड्यू टू इट्स प्रेजेंस ऑफ कंपाउंड आइज. दे आर डायशियस यानी यूनिसेक्सुअल एनिमल्स. फर्टिलाइजेशन इज इंटरनल यानी इनसाइड द बॉडी ऑफ द फीमेल. ओविपेरस, दैट इज दे लेग द एग्स. Basically they lay the fertilized eggs. Development is indirect or direct. Direct यानी the young one resembles the adult, and indirect यानी larval stage. Now very important thing, some of the arthropods they show parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis यानी क्या? Normally fertilized egg will form an offspring, but in certain cases the unfertilized egg directly form the offspring. So that is called as the parthenogenesis. What is parthenogenesis? Formation of an offspring from the unfertilized egg. So that is called as parthenogenesis. Now these are the examples of the arthropods. Some economically important insects are apis, commonly called as honeybee, bombyx, which are silkworm, and lecifer, which is lac insect. So they are economically important. हनी बी में से हनी मिलता है, सिल्कवर्म में से सिल्क बनता है, लैक इंसेक्ट में से लैक का सिक्रेशन होता है. Some of them are vectors. Vectors यानी they are the agents which spread the diseases. So mosquitoes basically like Anopheles, Culex and Aedes mosquitoes, which act as the agents for the transmission of the disease. Some of them are gregarious pests. Gregarious pests यानी what type of pest? They are the pest which travels in group. बहुत सारे साथ में. आपने अभी सुना होगा कि दिल्ली में लोकस्ट आया, राजस्थान में लोकस्ट आया. So basically these are the pests which occurs in group, in a very huge group, and they attack the crop field collectively and damage the crops. So they are called as the gregarious pest. So example is locusta, or also called as the locust. Some of them are the living fossil. Example Limulus, which is a king crab. So what do you mean by the living fossil? So organism which have remained unchanged from the earlier geologic times. यानी जब से उसका evolution हुआ है उसमें कोई भी changes आए नहीं है. And their close relatives जिसमें से उनका evolution हुआ है वो उन कैसे है, एक्सटिंक्ट है. सो व्हाट इज द लिविंग फॉसिल? अ ऑर्गेनिज्म विच हैव रिमेन अनचेंज फ्रॉम द अर्लियर जियोलिक टाइम्स. यानी जब से उसका इवोल्यूशन हुआ है उसमें कोई भी चेंजेस आए नहीं है. एंड उनके जो क्लोज रिलेटिव्स है वो कैसे है, एक्सटिंक्ट है. सो दैट आर सम ऑफ द एग्जाम्पल्स ऑफ द arthropods. I told you nervous system. See students, the nervous system. This is the brain, this is the ventral nerve cord, and ये देखो आप segmental paired ganglia. Each and every segment will have the ganglia. So this is the nervous system. So these are the diagram. This is a locust, this is a butterfly, this is a scorpion, this is a prawn. So these are the diagrams of the arthropods. So students, today I end my lecture here. We have studied 4 phylums. One is the platyhelminths, escahelminths, annelids and arthropods. So students, one thing you need to keep in mind that you might be given in exam the differences between the different phylums. Say for example, you may be asked to write the differences between arthropods and annelids. You may be asked to write the differences between platyhelminths and escahelminths. So that is, comparison between the different phylum is very important. Today I end my lecture here. Thank you students.